So, when I was out here before, I was up $600 or $700. Quickly lost that as soon as I stepped back in there. I ran top two into a flush. I lost set over set. But then we hunkered down. We battled back. And by battling back, I mean, I picked up aces and stacked a guy. And I picked up queens and I flopped a set and cracked slow played aces. Either way, we're back, baby. We're back. We're up again. Probably, I don't know, a grand or so. But my game is still good. I'm going nowhere. I've been here 12 hours. I may be here another 12. Who knows? Let's go. Let's be honest. A session isn't really fulfilling if you don't get the opportunity to open with 3-5 suited. Thankfully for us, we get that opportunity right now. I opened at $25 from early position in the button calls. 5 of hearts, 4 of clubs, 7 of clubs. Well, that's quite the flop. Normally playing this hand poses much more of a challenge. With this flop, I can really do anything. I can lead, I can check raise, all the options are open. I check, praying that he fires and we can just go to war. His check back is disappointing. The ace of hearts on the turn at first glance might appear bad. However, my early position opening range possesses a lot of those cards with the big letter A on them, so I lead here, tossing out another $25. But he gives up. A lot of times, the difference between a winning session and a losing session boils down to one hand. Hell, sometimes it boils down to one card. You hit that card, you're up big. You don't, and, well, we've all been there. For me, this hand would have been one of those make it or break it hands had I not picked up aces and kings half a dozen times each this session. Either way, let's get into it. It begins with the under the gun 2 player opening the $30. Standard open. The cutoff calls, and I slide in there with ace deuce of diamonds, and the big blind comes in as well. 4 of us. 8 of diamonds, 4 of spades, 9 of diamonds. So I flopped the nut flush draw and basically nothing else. I mean, technically I have some runner straight possibilities, and I guess I could wind up with trips, but let's not get crazy. I check. The big blind checks. The under the gun 2 player bets $50 and the cutoff folds. I make a pretty easy call drawing to the nuts and slide my $50 in. The big blind has other plans and check raises, but not big at all. Sort of an annoying size. He makes it $150. The under the gun 2 player calls, so there's about $500 in the pot with $100 for me to call, so by Jamin math, I'm getting 27-1. I call. The turn changes nothing for me personally. It's the jack of hearts. I check, and now the big blind leads for a more substantial size, $300, and quickly the under the gun 2 player calls. Now there's almost $1,200 in the pot with $300 for me to call, drawing to the nuts. The decision to call is getting iffy now, but there's this thing I read about in a book once called implied odds. And I like to haphazardly sprinkle that in when I want to call, but I'm not sure the math allows it. So I called the $300 because of implied odds. All we need is a diamond, preferably one that doesn't pair the board. The river, the ace of spades. Oh, damn. I wasn't even thinking about the ace. I check, and now the check raising half pot betting big blind checks. Could my ace be good here? Wow, winning like this would be dirty. The under the gun 2 player tanks for a bit and turns over his hand. Jack 10 of spades. Well, I beat that one. And then the big blind turns over 9-8 offsuit for a flop 2 pair, and well, one card away from greatness is where I shall stay.
still here?
Still here?
You've been here since this morning?
Yep.
I was sitting right over there.
Yeah. You too, man. In this next hand, we get into a close one. Honestly, it's been a minute since I played this session, and I still go back and forth on this one. I'll enlighten you. The hijack opens and, oh look, I have aces again. 3-bet incoming, and I make it $100 to go. The small blind cold calls, which right off the bat is a little strange. Me holding 2 aces in my hand lowers the probability that he has a hand like ace X suited, which people love to cold call with. So that raises the probability that he has a smaller pocket pair. 8s, 9s, 10s, jacks. I think I would hear from queens and kings at this point. Anyway, the hijack folds, so I'm heads up with the small blind. 4, 9, 7 with 2 hearts, and he checks. I bet $80, which is probably a small error. A larger bet here would probably generate more value and give me more clarity, but he calls. The turn 10 of spades sees him check again. I'm really not sure I can get 3 streets of value with my aces, so I check back this street with plans on betting the river. The river brings the jack of spades, and he checks again. Now, I'm not so sure I can get value by betting here. There's a one-liner to a straight on board, and I don't have many 8s in my 3-bet range cutoff versus hijack. That's one issue. The other issue is the range I assigned him as a cold caller pre-flop. Well, a lot of that range is now a set. Maybe a set that is scared of the one-liner, as I am? If I do bet the river here, what hand is calling me that I beat? Find a few. It's hard, right? In hindsight, this is probably a bet fold spot, but in real time, I tank and just check it back. I end up winning versus pocket deuces, which wasn't calling a river bet anyway, but replaying and rethinking through hands is always a worthwhile exercise. It helps you become a better player and solidifies your opening ranges and post-flop Oh, look, 4 deuce suited. Screw all that mumbo-jumbo about opening ranges. Let's just play in the streets. Folded to me, and I opened at $30 because overall the table is just folding too much, and I think I might have missed value with the aces and want to recoup that value from someone else. The big blind becomes that someone else. 5, queen, 8 with 2 hearts. She checks, and I continue for $40, and she calls. The turn brings the king of spades, and she checks again. She could have a king. Hell, she could have a queen too. So if I check it back here and she leads the river, I'll just fold. If not, I'll bet again. I mean, I have 4 high. I'll have to bet. I check the turn as well. The river brings the ace of diamonds, and she does check again. If she has an ace, she's going to call me. She should probably call me with a king too. But if she has a hand like 5-6 suited or pocket 7s, let's put her in a bad spot. I bet $130, which is almost pot, and there's no tanking at all before she folds. I don't show because I just want to keep this joy internal. It's just for me. And well, now, I guess, I'm sharing it with y'all. Gotta say hi to your fans.
No one wants to.
Everybody wants to see you.
Literally, no one.
Where's rain delay? That's what they say. Where's rain delay? I don't know.
No one says it. If it's anyone, it's like some random person.
People miss you.
No,
Everybody misses rain delay.
Rachel, maybe. None of your fans. No way.
All right, I'm out. Okay, we are out. I know I said I was going to play 12 more hours or whatever, but no, I'm leaving. I battled back to finally end the night up like $800, and I'll take it. It's time to get out of here and just get some rest, do something else. So after the second update, not much happened. I won another hand with aces versus pocket deuces, and then I followed that by executing a bluff with deuce four of spades. And other than that, like the last 3 hours was just me folding. So yeah, just time to call it. Just, you know, let's go. It's the first weekend of the World Series. Like, I don't need to kill myself. But if you like the vlogs, leave me a comment. I'll probably respond eventually, probably, and subscribe. All right.